What kind of horsepower is this gonna do? Or is it gonna blow up, break up? Who knows? This is what the dyno's here for, to tell you the truth, what an engine can do. Hello, my name is Nick. I own Nick's Garage here on YouTube. I've been building engines for the past 44 years. This is what I've been doing for all my life. I specialize in mopars. I love power, I love engines, I love cars, and this is my passion. And in the past 4 years, we've been on YouTube. As we go further on year after year, you will start to meet people from other YouTube channels. And now we have one, we're collaborating with Uncle Tony from UTG in Tennessee and Brian from LunarOutlaw's garage in Albany, New York. And this is an idea Brian came up with, that he wanted to build a budget 318 Mopar engine, his very first Mopar engine from a 72 Plymouth Satellite. That's a very rough car.
Was able to get it for a great price. I think this is going to be an awesome daily driver. It needs a little bit of work here and there. As far as it goes, I'm definitely going to have to learn a lot when it comes to Mopar, because we're going to want to keep this thing running regular.
So his goal was to build the engine with Tony with whatever parts he had. He did this on a one-day trip. Go there, meet Tony, bring all the pieces he had, whatever he had, and assemble it on one day, on a Sunday, on a hot day in Tennessee. And broadcast it all live in 13 hours, putting it all together. Pretty crazy, let me tell you. That was something.
With basic hand tools. We're not using anything exotic. There's no machine work being done here. Nothing that we're not going to do with our own hands. So essentially we're doing this the same exact way you would be able to do it at home in your garage with your basic tools and your buddies.
And then after all that was finished, you were supposed to bring it straight here and put it on a dynamometer and see what it can do and see what kind of horsepower and torque it would pull out.
Tony needs a few minutes. Do you need a few minutes? Do you want to drink a water? You're going to dehydrate.
Any coffee?
Yeah, but we've got water.
My water's in coffee.
And I was watching that show that they did on a Sunday. I don't know how they did it. They had to work with some pieces that were not cleaned. Of course, you know, some parts were there. For example, I believe they replaced the block and it was sitting there. They try to clean it as best as they can without a hot tank in it. They wanted to do what they can, but they had to get it done the same day. So they had it washed out as best as they can and then slap it all together. When they were putting it together, they kept joking around saying, is this thing gonna blow or something or what?
Nick is watching this. Uh-oh. What happens?
You know, when they bring it to Nick's Garage, we're gonna put it on the dynamometer and find out what happens. And this is what the dyno's here for, to tell you the truth, what an engine can do.
So as soon as Nick could make a little room in the shop, and Brian could get the paperwork to get over the border, the 318 was rolling towards Nick's garage.
Okay, let me go get the crane. Let's pull out the 318. I see that little 318 looks like a little monster. It's chained down that it doesn't run away. You know, Tony's probably watching us saying, hey, look at these guys, they're wearing masks. Tony, we're not from Tennessee. We are from Quebec and New York State. Combined, the two of us, we are the worst guys in the coronavirus in North America. So let's keep our safe distance, wear a mask, and let's make a video.
Can't see me smiling, but it's ear to ear.
I was watching you guys put the core plugs in. You didn't put any shellac or anything, eh?
You didn't want it.
No. And it was like I said, we're gonna run it, we're gonna see if there's any water leaks or anything, we're gonna find out. I'm gonna take out your gear, your distributor, we're gonna put oil, we're gonna prime it, we're gonna set the timing. Then after that, we have to get it started right away, run it for 20 minutes at 2,000 RPMs to break in the flat tappet camshaft. And then we pulled the engine out of his truck. He brought it in, we set it up on the dyno. Everything looks okay so far. Get ready to put the engine mounts on it. I'm gonna put the flywheel on it, attach it to the balancing. And before we go any further, I'm gonna prime the engine to make sure everything works well. That's
there
it.
We go.
Okay. And I was hoping just to make a few tests with my carburetor to break in the cam, do some testing with my Holley carburetor, then put on the Stormer quad, get it done, figure out what kind of horsepower it's gonna have, because a lot of questions from all three channels are asking what kind of horsepower is this gonna do, or is it gonna blow up, break up, who knows. And I just wanted to finish it off with him so he could go back home happy, get his results, and ready for installation. But it turned out to be a long and difficult day. Standard bore, eh, Brian?
Standard bore.
391? I believe it is.
Yeah, I think it might be a little bit over that. But
Oh.
after we honed the crap out of it.
No, I know. You guys were going at it for a while. All right, let's prime and see what we get. We just added oil to the engine. We're gonna prime it. We gotta make sure it's been assembled correctly. So let's see what oil pressure we're gonna get. So Brian's added oil, put an oil filter on it. I got my priming tool on. Let's see what we're gonna get. Here we go. Here we go. We got on tension. £60 with a 1030 oil. Yeah, we're good. £60. We're pretty good. And since we got a brand new cam flat tappet, I want to add extra zinc to the oil just for extra protection. So we're going to put one of these bottles in it. This is no good for catalytic converters. But to be on the safe side, let's put it in and get it going.
After he gets good oil pressure while priming the engine, Nick moves on to the next step, getting ready for testing.
I'm going to open up the main water line, which is right here. This is the water supply to the dyno and to the engine. And right now we are going to open the valve to start filling the engine with water for the first time. So here we go. Right here. There we go. I'll let it run slowly, see what happens. I guess we have everything closed. You know when it fills up, when the water starts coming out from the back, if everything goes good here. Then after that, we're going to put the spark plug wires and we're good.
It's exciting. A lot of things happen for it to be here, so very excited. And I just think, like, this is something that anyone could do. Like, put together one of these things. You don't have to be a millionaire. You just,
it's a budget.
yeah, have the passion.
What I tell a lot of people, a lot of times when you build an engine, everybody has a budget. A lot of times they come and ask you for crazy horsepower with a very minimum amount of money. Everything takes money. But then again, this is a very cheap build-up that you did. So we're going to show an example of what you've done here. I believe we have a little water leak right here. You see it? Dripping?
Oh, yeah.
This is the core plugs, I'm sure. See it? That's why I put a shellac on it. Look at that.
Oh, that one's leaking too.
Yeah, they're both leaking. That's why I always put shellac on core plugs. Sometimes they go away, sometimes they don't. Let's see what happens. We're gonna get it running. This one's leaking too. They're all leaking. Let's check the other side. This one's leaking.
I think
This
John
one.
put to see that. This one's leaking here too.
They're all leaking, all 6 of them. Brian's used the metal intake gasket, which I'm not fond of, but you know what? Let's see what we can do. I'll tighten it up and see if it could work. Sometimes they seal on their own after you get it running. So let's put a couple of minutes running time on it and see what happens. Anyways, if it leaks water, there's no harm. We keep adding water as the engine breaks in the cam. Ignition is on, fuel is on, water's in. We're ready to get started.
I was born ready. Check his heart rate.
Because we're gonna run it for 20 minutes at 2,000 RPM.
Got it.
With this face mask and the shield, it's kind of hard, but you know what? Let's get it done. Vasily, you ready? Okay, let's go. Well, we got the standby right here. We got Jim with the absorbent. Ignition, fuel, O2 sensors. Okay, Vasily, whenever you're ready. Got it? Here we go. God, it's turning slowly. Why? Give it more advance. That's it. Give it more advance. Okay. No, there's no spark. There's no spark. You should have started already. Here we go. See if we got a spark. Here, Vasily. Okay. Okay. Yes, it is. It is. It wants to start, but come on. Okay, ready? I set the timing about 32 or 33 degrees at 2200, so I want to run it for 20 minutes to break in the cam. And while you're doing this 20-minute break-in, you don't want to interrupt it. So you want to get it started and keep it there steady for 20 minutes at 2200 RPM. Good, sorry. As the engine was running, we noticed that the core plugs were leaking lightly, but we didn't mind. It's only water. All I had to do was add water as the engine ran. We're going to give it 20 minutes break-in time. But as the engine was coming to heating up the oil, or should I say running temperature, we noticed that the oil pressure was dropping. Oil pressure is low. We started, what, 56, 57 pounds? And then before you know it, after, I believe, 5 minutes, we dropped it down to just under 25 pounds. We have a problem. But when you hit under 25, the light turns red, then you know we're in an issue here. We have to shut it down to see what's going on. We only have 23 pounds of pressure.
Right.
We should have more than that. Well, why do we only have 23 pounds? I need more pressure than that to break in the cam. Gee, that's pretty low, man. We started with 60 pounds, that's great, but as it warms up, it dropped. You see when the light turns red, we're in a danger zone.
Right.
And breaking the cam, I need the pressure.
Right.
Never seen a problem with this before. Usually when I have 60 pounds, it stays within 10 pounds once it warms up. But here we've lost, we got it running, what, not even 5 minutes, and we dropped from almost 60 pounds to 23. As you can see in the dyno room, the indication for oil pressure, the light turned red. That means we're too low, especially when you want to break in the cam. So we might have to remove the oil pump to see what's going on.
Oh, it's concerning. It's very concerning. Yeah, well, the oil dropped right down.
I know that the block was not hot tight. Maybe the oil washed away all the dirt in the veins of the block. So I said, you know what? First place to look at was the oil filter. You wonder, maybe it was so filthy or so dirty, maybe it blocked the oil filter, cut down the oil pressure. Let's start with the filter, take it off. Let's cut it open. Let's see what we got. Ooh.
An awful lot of smooth.
Oh yeah. Wow. This is a bad start right here. See this?
Yeah.
We got a lot of metals here. Let's take out the filter, see what it looks like. Here we go. Oh wow. On the outside is where the dirt goes in. Oh wow. Wow, there's a lot of dirt in there. Wow, it's a lot of dirt. Check this out. Look at that. You know what you just did? We just flushed the engine. Brian, I've removed a lot of oil filters on a lot of engine break-ins. I've never seen this, never. I've never seen this. Now, look at this. Wow. See that? Now, let's see if we got anything in the bottom of the can. Here we go. Wow.
We need a pan for gold in there.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what? Don't forget, it goes through all your bearings and everything now. Your cam, your lifters. Wow. You know what? What do you say we put another new filter and try it again?
Absolutely.
Is that okay with you?
Sounds good to me.
Okay. And don't forget now, the pump wears out. If it picks up dirt, it wears out the gears. All right, let's get a new filter and let's just try it. Whatever happened, the damage is already done already. So let's put another filter, see if we can increase some pressure. Fill it up, put it on, and let's try it again. So let's get it started. We just put a new filter on it. And we're still doing an engine break-in. We haven't got it done yet. I think we only ran not even 5 minutes. So let's get going and see how it goes. Here we go. Still not enough. You still need more than that. I'm wondering if I should leave it there. Under 25 pounds, it turns red. I don't know what to do right now. I need pressure for braking. I'm not sure what to do. There's your oil pressure, right there.
It's going down again.
It's gonna go down, yeah, as it warms up. It's gonna drop, watch this. Oh boy, we dropped. We went back underneath 20. We went back under 25 pounds. Wow. What do we got? We got a bleed off. Is it the oil pump? What is it? Have you taken apart the pump, Brian, by any chance?
Oil pump? No.
No.
Took it right out of the box, put it in there. Tony stuffed it with
Grease or something?
grease, yeah. Started out.
Okay, that's all right. What is going on? I was hoping to get 40 pounds right off the bat to break it in at 2,000 RPM. I was stuck at 26, 27 pounds, which is not good. Now, is it an oil pump issue? Is it oil drainage somewhere in the assembly? I'm not sure. Maybe the oil pump got scratched. Maybe it picked up dirt or something, or grind, I don't know. Or shavings, I'm not so sure. So let's remove the oil pan, which we did. We removed the oil pan. And then we saw some shavings on the base of the pan. There's definitely something in there. It's quite a bit of dirt for a new engine. I mean, something in there. Look at that. Put a magnet on it. Let's see what we got. Oh, it's sure sticking there. Now, is that dirt from not cleaning the engine well before getting assembled? This is a mystery for me now. Okay, so let me take off the pump now. Let me see if there's any damage in the oil pump. We took apart the pump. I looked at the rotors. They looked fine. Looked good. I said, maybe it's not the pump. The pump looks good. There's no gear worn out. The rotor is good. What else can it be? Well, the engine was breaking in the first few minutes. I noticed there was noises underneath the valve cover. I wanted to take a look at that also. So we removed the valve covers. Did a push rod come out of place maybe? Want to make sure all the push rods are in place and no lifter pop out of place or something. I know we didn't rev it high, so I doubt it very much, but you know what? Let's just look at all the simple stuff. It's all there. Wait a minute. You know what? Take off the rocker shaft, actually. Just loosen it. I want to see where the hole is pointing. You know the little hole to lubricate the rockers? You see, this should be one in the front, one in the back. They're both in the back, so something is not kosher. So let me take a look. I still don't know where that oil pressure is. Oh my God, look at the dirt. See that, eh? Didn't you hot tank any of these pieces, Brian?
All my engine shops were closed.
Should have hot tanked that. At the same time, I looked at the rocker shafts for the oiling holes for the rockers on the driver's side was inverted on the wrong way. So I had that also turned over, having the oil holes facing the valve springs, not the push rods. But that's not the big deal. We don't lose pressure from that. I just inverted it the correct way it should be. In the meantime, while we're looking for the oil pressure issue, I've noticed that the valve closed. The rocker has some play. You know that the push rods are too short. They're non-adjustable rockers, and of course you should have some pressure on it because they need to be a little bit longer than what we have here. So we know that we're not going to get the maximum lift to get horsepower out of this engine with a short push rod. And I know Tony was doing this engine during the night. They didn't have the parts, but if you're looking for maximum power, this is a no-no. First of all, we got the push rods too short. We got one shaft that's not correct installed, and we have a lot of dirt in the engine. Of course, that dirt was hidden in the arteries of the block, cylinder heads or whatever. It's hard to get washed, especially when it's not hot tanked. And in this case, it makes sense that something's worn out. I don't know where. One way to find out is to dismantle the engine. And you know what? Let's take a few minute breaks, and then we're going to come back and see what we're going to do.
Nick doesn't stop for lunch often, but he's got a guest today. And he's going to need the energy, because there's a lot more work in the dyno room.
Then I went further. I removed a main cap. I'm going to take off one main cap. I want to see how it looks. I'm going to look at the bearing, okay? I want to take a look at the bearing. See if the bearing is scuffed, then we don't have to go any further. Because, you know, the dirt's going to travel through for a while. Right. It doesn't, you know, once it's in the bearing too, it sits in the groove, it doesn't get washed out, it stays there. Here we go. See, this one doesn't look too bad. This looks okay. Okay?
Yeah.
That looks good. The oil goes there first, and then it goes with the connector rod. So this is clean, that should be clean. So where are we losing oil pressure? Where is it going? God, where is it going?
As Nick continues to chase down a major lack of oil pressure, he keeps finding small problems along the way.
So we've located an oil pump gasket. Maybe sometimes you don't need it, but just to be sure, because I haven't found a problem with this engine yet, we're putting a gasket right here. This is where the oil is sucked up. Don't forget, sucking air is a lot easier than sucking oil. So can this be the cause? I'm not sure. So I've located a gasket, and now we're going to put it on with a gasket. Here we go. We put back the main cap. I put the oil pump back on with the pan back in place. We checked the screen to the base of the pan, which was correct. Put new oil, new filter, and we got to start it up again. And hopefully, I wanted to start up and finish off breaking in the cab. Give it time. See, it's dropping, it's dropping. It should stay stable. The gauge. The bottom of the gauge now, do me. Get the other gauge ready, Vasily, the other gauge. The one for priming. Lock the bottom. Again, it went down the oil pressure. You see it going down slightly on the gauge. And of course, we had to shut it down again. Watch this, there. Shut the fan for a minute. We are gonna try, just in case, we're gonna put another gauge on it, just in case it's my gauge, but I doubt it. We're gonna put another mechanical gauge on the oil pressure just to want to make sure it's not the dyno instrumentation that's not good. But Vasily's going to put another gauge, mechanical gauge, at the engine just to take a second opinion. So he's going to put it on in a minute, and we're going to start her up and see if we get the same reading like the dyno. Okay? So they correspond. So in other words, it's not a dyno instrumentation problem, we have an engine problem. Okay, we're back where we started from. Look at that, we start off with 50 pounds and then at the end it drops down to 20, 25 pounds and within a 4-minute period. Oh boy. What do we do now? What do we do?
We're going to be losing that much oil pressure.
Yeah, we're losing at least 25 pounds very easily. And where is it going? Where is it going? The plug is there. Rocker shafts are in place. You got the oil pump gasket in place. The bearing, the one bearing we took off looked pretty good. What's going on? What is going on? Still didn't break in the cam that I wanted to. We couldn't do any testing. But then I decided, and I asked Brian, let me ask you a question. Let's rev it up to 5,000. I want to see what oil pressure we're gonna have at 5,000 RPM. So Brian gave me the okay, and we made a little test. Wasn't a perfect test because, you know, we don't have the perfect air fuel ratio and all that. And at the same time, I did forget to back up the timing on the distributor. My mind was so much on the oil pressure, thinking about the oil pressure and this and that, was wondering. And yes, we had at 2200 RPM, we had about 32, 33 degrees timing. We had a lot of advance at full throttle, maybe 45, 46 degrees, which is a no-no because you're losing power at that time. So it's not a good test at all, which was on behalf of my fault that I forgot to back up the timing.
Uncle Tony will be unhappy to hear that all the work he put into the heads won't have a chance to shine today. He wanted to see the numbers past 6,000 RPM, but the engine just isn't ready to go there yet.
We're starting at 2.5, we're going to 5 grand, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay. So, sounds good. Let's find out. Okay. We're going to leave it as it is. I know we get more oil pressure as we rev it up. So what we're going to do is right now, is we're going to start up, give it another 5 minutes to break in the cam, and then we're going to make a test right after that. That's like Brian says, it's his motor. Give it a shot and see what happens. So if we're all ready, stay tuned and see what happens.
No going back.
Okay, no going back. Here we go. Okay, here we go. See the oil light come on? Oh. I don't know, man. There's 34 pounds of pressure at 5,000 RPM. Oh, we took it from 2,500 RPM to 5,000 RPM, and the oil pressure went to 35 pounds at 5,000 RPM. You know, in realistic, we have to have 10 pounds per 1,000 RPM. As you can see, Brian, we're under that. And the horsepower we only got so far was 226. But I noticed something. Vasily, you want to try something for me? Go check full throttle. It's full? Okay. What's our fuel ratio? 11.8. It's very rich. Very rich. This is what we got so far. You want to make another one back to back?
Yeah.
Okay. The carburetor. 0.2. Oh, that's a big carburetor. For what the engine demands, look at that. 0.2, that's a big carburetor. Okay, we're going to put a 650. It's 650, Vasily, 650. I'm going to put a smaller carb, okay? 650.
So, at the end of a day filled with roadblocks and puzzles, the little 318 is managing to hold together, up to 5,000 RPM, and with horrendously low oil pressure. Without a further teardown to find the issue, this is as far as Nick wants to push things for now.
I this could be the last test of the day. We're running on lower pressure, so Brian said go ahead, give it a shot till 5,000 RPM, and right now we've installed a 650 CFM double pumper. We made a 230 horsepower with a 750 running very rich, but I decided to go with the 650 because the 750 is way too big. So we're about to get started, and here we go. There's the oil light, 12 pounds of pressure. And there we have it, our last test of the day. Here we go. We pulled out a 244.7 at 4,600 RPM. Well, again, you know, we're not running on full potential. We got 33 degrees full timing at the moment from what I know. Air fuel ratio is at 12.1, which is perfect. So there we have it, you guys. We can't go any further testing. We don't have any oil pressure. So you guys, if you're all looking for horsepower, we don't have the facts or the results because it's not fully tuned. All we did is make 1 or 2 tests with the carburetor at 33 degrees, full advance, and we pulled out 245, is it? There you go. I'm going to print that out for you also.
Would that be 350 American? Or?
Sorry. No, horsepower, US or Canada is the same thing. There is no change in that.
Right, at least it's not in pieces.
That's right, and you know what? For the amount of oil pressure you had, it didn't blow up, so that's a pretty good way to look at it, you guys. You gotta give it credit. Get it done. You gotta give it credit.
Of course, everyone here today made their guess about what the engine would make. And Leo, who built his own 318, came closest.
Thank you very much.
And he wins the Uncle Tony themed prize.
So after Brian left here, he got home around midnight when he went home, and then I found out that he was talking to Tony trying to figure out what was the problem. So he had intake manifold removed to see push wall length and lifter depths or lifter heights. And after going through all that, I spoke to Tony the very next day. The issue with the oil pressure was the lifters. So now Brian's got the engine down at his place. He's gonna fix it up with Tony. Tony knows exactly what to do with it. He figured it out. They're gonna put it back together. And after that, it's gonna be back up here. We're gonna put it back on the dyno. Let's do a good test. And of course, get the results on the horsepower and the torque that everybody's been waiting for on all 3 channels. And let's put it to the pace. Bottom line, Brian is new with this stuff. It's his first Mopar engine. I don't know, I don't think he knows much about these things. Like Tony also agreed with me on this. He's learning, you know, it's good. I want that, I like that. I like to share my knowledge, like Tony himself. We like to show the new generation, the people that like come on board and watch how things get fixed and done. And this is how you learn. When things break down, how you do a search, what causes this, how it works, how do you fix it, what makes it run, what's normal, what's not normal. This is what we are all about. Learning. I learn new things every day also. I get comments sometimes from people that tell me, hey Nick, maybe you should do it this way. And you know, there's a lot of good people out there, viewers like yourself, that helped me out in the past 4 years with good stuff, good info. And I thank them. I read all the comments. I'm sure now Brian's on the same train with us, learning the same way. So after all, it's all good news. You're gonna learn the hard way, work on it, blood, sweat, and tears, like I've done here the other day with Brian all day here on Friday. And there's no harm done. It's all good. Tony solved this problem with the oil pressure. He's gonna get that fixed. When he comes back, we're gonna get it back on the dyno and run it again. You know, Brian is somebody new on the block with this, of course, and I like helping. And it's not the first time I put an edge on the dynamometer that you find issues, but that's normal. That's what a dyno is. It's a tool. And that's the reason, of course, everybody comes here for this reason, is to look for the problems. If everything is solved, everything works well, then you look for the horsepower and torque. And it's normal, you know, things happen, oil pressure and this and that. It's better than installing it in the car and then removing it again. And here we see it all. So let's get it done, fix it, bring it back here, and do some real testing. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.